Okay, I wanted to show or make a video on how I sharpen my hook knife. Um, for a long time, or when I first got in the trade 27 years ago, I was taught how to sharpen it with emery cloth, just mounted in a vise, 120, 150 grit emery cloth mounted in a vise, and just kind of ran it, back and forth, and got a really good edge on it, and it served me for a long time. But one of my hobbies is woodworking, and in order to do a lot of my woodworking, I got to have sharp tools, chisels and planer blades and things like that. So just doing a lot of study and a lot of watching people and looking at different techniques on how they sharpen. I think I've come up with a good idea or a great way to really get your lineman knife, your hook knife. Probably this is the sharpest I probably have ever gotten it, and boy, it worked good. So I don't know if you can see that real well. Pretty much razor sharp. This thing's been through a lot. It's got a lot of kind of rough surfaces on there, but I spent some time, took care of it, and I'll show you how I do that. So again, I spent a lot of money and a lot of time on figuring out how to sharpen things. But the problem with the lineman's knife or your hook knife is that it's got this recurve here. It's not a flat blade that goes up like my pocket knife or something like that. This recurve makes it difficult to get into that spot. You can't hit these things with a knife. It just doesn't get down in. It misses. You can almost see that shadow down there where it's missing. If I can do this. So it won't get, it'll do the flat spot real well, but as soon as you get to that curve, that recurve, you're going to be missing. So again, I've tried all kinds of different methods, and I think that I've come up with a really good way to do this. Once you get your knife fairly decent, what I try and use is a kind of a round file. And you just kind of run your knife in there. That way it's only hitting just that little bit on the knife, the whole length of it. The key to getting sharp tools, knives and blades and things like that, is consistency on your edge. You can't be changing your angle as you're sharpening it. You got to just try and remain consistent from edge to edge. If you keep changing it like that, you'll never get a good edge. So consistency is a key. It just comes with, for me, it's come with a lot of practice. But I just sharpen this thing back and forth, get that thing. And this is a pretty aggressive diamond stone. You can feel it just cutting. But that's okay for now. This thing was an Amazon item, I don't know, 15 bucks maybe. But so I just sharpen, keep a consistent angle on there. And I like a real steep angle for the work that I do with cutting insulation and cutting jacketing, things like that, cutting rope. So I just get my consistent angle. I clean out all my burrs. If you don't want to move the knife, you can move the stone. Okay, just back and forth, get a consistent angle. Do the same on this side. Consistent angle. That's why I like these 2 points here. I can, if you want, you just ride that whole edge. That'll be your consistent angle. Okay, you want to do that. Once you get it to that point, what I bought recently, and I've used them before, but this is a brand new one. It's a ceramic sharpening rod, sharpening stick, and this one's real fine. So again, consistent angle, back and forth in that, and you can see it's only cutting on that, just that one small little part. It's not a flat stone that you're using, so it's a round rod. So again, consistent angles, back and forth, like that. And then, something a lot of people don't do, is my next step. Once you get that, let's do that a bunch of times. If your sticks or stones get really dirty, they won't cut well, wash them off with a brake cleaner, with a cable cleaner, even with a WD-40. Just spray them down and clean out all the grit out of your stones, whatever you're using, ceramic, diamond, water stones, things like that. They need to be washed out. All right, so after we get done with that, I made a leather strop. And you can make them round, you can make them flat. I just took a piece of, I don't know, walnut, glued some leather to it that I bought at the hobby store. And before I did anything, I used some diamond paste. You can use a buffing compound. And what you want to do is charge your stick here with it. And then take your knife, and you can go on this on flat, but you go backwards. You don't cut into it. There's a little lip of steel after you're done sharpening. You're trying to break that off. So you go backwards on it. It'll take that little lip off. Go with a bunch of times on there. You can even do it on the corner of it. But you want to go backwards. A bunch of times, like so. Let's see how this thing cuts now. Let's see if I can do this. Ready? You can feel it stopping right, like right there is a little bump in my blade. I can clean that up, but for the most part, this thing's razor sharp. You can see that. You can even almost hear it as it hits it. There's a little bump right there. But with a little bit of work, you'll be able to clean that up. You can feel it, you can hear it. And it catches right there. But you can clean that up. But the rest of the blade, you'll notice that thing's cutting like nothing. Okay, so I was taught, I don't know, back in 6th grade in shop class, that sharp tools are safe tools. A dull knife is a dangerous knife. So anyway, hope you like that. You can comment on maybe how you do it and the results that you get. But again, I just use like I said, a round diamond stone. Even a round ceramic stick would work. And get a good edge on it, and then just start working it down. This is, again, aggressive diamond, but it cuts pretty good. You throw that in your bag. And then I move over to my ceramic stick. Same thing, keep that same angle. Polish that up, and then hit it with your strop. Again, piece of leather on wood, and go backwards on it. Charge this leather with a buffing compound. I got some other stuff that I use. I grabbed a bunch of this. It's diamond lapping compound paste and different grits. I got a bunch of it. There's a couple different things you can use. There's stuff for lapping valves, for automotive valves you can use. I got a jar of that. Grinding and lapping compound. But something like that to charge your leather strop with works really well, and you'll have excellent results on your lineman knife, on your hook knife. If you want, you can even make something similar to this, which is just a bunch of leather discs, just smashed together on a bolt, and then I mount it in my drill or on my lathe. Charge it again with your lapping compound, spin it, and then just do the same thing and take that edge. Just take that edge right off as it's spinning, and you want to go the opposite way, obviously, right? And just take that whole edge right off. You can do it with a big sanding disc. That's a big chunk of leather I put on a sanding disc. Same thing. I use it for my chisels and stuff, planer blades and things like that. But hope you found this informative. Talk to you later.